Just two adjacent girls living in a lovely world. They took a podcast train going anywhere, but kind of specifically through Austin, Texas. Yeah, hook 'em horns. Just two.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back to Adjacent. Shelly here. We're still on the Mel Robbins train. Hope you guys are loving it. I am. Um, so I'm going to do a couple chapters today because there's so much goodness in this book, and I don't want to, um, get away from everything there is to offer. You're so chapter 4. Please read this book. She does such great examples of each of these, and I don't want to just recite her stories, and I don't have examples for all of them, but her examples are great, and I believe there's a workbook now, and so you can work through all of this. But chapter 4 is really stop carrying everyone else. Stop carrying everybody else's load. You can support people without carrying them. And this is a hard thing for me, and I know it's a hard thing for Jody as well, is that, we just want to help people get to their goal faster. We want to help people get there. And so we kind of drag people. I've said, I don't want to drive your bus. I feel like I'm driving somebody else's bus, and it's like, you don't have to. I don't have to drive somebody else's bus. Let them experience life their way. You're not responsible for fixing anyone's emotions, choices, or consequences. And this isn't talking about kids or somebody struggling with mental health or somebody with a disability. This is talking about, functioning humans. And I think that happens a lot in the workplace, is that you're carrying somebody else's load, and you don't have to. You don't have to. When you own your own business, you kind of have to, until you find the right people. And then one of my least favorite things to do in the whole wide world is micromanage. And here's the task, complete it, you don't complete it 3 or 4 times, we're going to find somebody else to do it. But you don't have to carry people. And that's so hard to process. But she does a great job explaining it. Chapter 5 focuses heavily on boundaries and that the realization that protecting your peace is not selfish. This is just new news to a lot of moms out there. I know I felt this way, is that my peace is, I was very good about protecting my peace around, community. But when it came to family, I had a harder time and had to go to therapy about it. And she was like, no, you get to protect your peace with family too. I don't know how you grew up, but we were directly taught family comes first, period. Blood is thicker than water, all of those. And I took that to heart, and I felt like my peace was not always being protected. But peace is a priority. It is not a luxury. It is a priority. New information. Chapter 6. Stop chasing validation. If you look at yourself in the mirror, you give yourself a high five, you feel good about yourself, you're good. You're good. That's it. I don't need Big John from the grocery store to validate me. I don't need external people to validate me. I wish like the whole social media thing was not a factor in podcasting. I hate chasing the numbers. I don't like it. I don't want that to be a factor. we love what we're doing. I wish that wasn't a piece of it. And, unfortunately, it's the game. But, I've turned it into a numbers game, and just it's a numbers, not validation. Um, and your worth cannot depend on outside applause. I mean, that is not, yes, it brings us so much joy when somebody says, "Hey, I heard your podcast. I really like it." Or my mom told me to listen to your podcast. That brings us a lot of joy. But our self worth is like in the mirror. It's with us. Am I doing a good job? Am I being the person I want to be? Definitely love bringing joy to my family and all of that, but I don't need an outside applause to bring my value. Chapter 7, boundaries are not mean. It's not mean to say no, thank you. It is not mean to not attend something you don't want to attend. It's not mean to say no. It's not mean, you know, to take a knee and take a personal day, and those are not mean. Those are not mean things. Boundaries are not mean. They're self-preservation, and bravo, set the boundaries. I honestly, I've said this a couple times. I wish people would give me a playbook when it comes to relationships, because I would follow it. I would love to understand the boundaries and make sure I'm supporting them the way that I want to support them. Um, Within reason. I'm not going to modify my whole life for it, but the yeah, boundaries. I love them. I love them. I love when somebody's like, "That's a boundary for me." I'm like, "Thanks for letting me know." I had a big situation with some friends. A friend, and we've spoken about it. Is like, she broke up with somebody, and another friend was like, "Hey, I'd like to hang out with them," and I introduced them. I didn't realize that because somebody dated them, nobody could ever date them again. And but they set the boundary, and now I understood. And other friends were like, "Yeah, absolutely, you don't set somebody else up." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's new information for me." I'm so sorry. And I learned, and I grew, and I would not do that again. Message received. Um, Chapter 8, let people be who they are. We waste enormous amounts of energy hoping people will suddenly become the people we want them to be. Yeah, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I'm sure we've all dated somebody and we're like, "Oh, let's show them love and da 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 da, and I'm the best girlfriend, I'm the best partner, he'll become a better person." And I've never seen that work out. And so we had somebody working for us, and it was like we kept trying to give them systems to learn how to work around their ADHD, and do the work that needed to be done, and try to modify constantly to work within their systems. And it never worked. It never worked. We had to make the decision to say, "Thank you very much. This isn't working." And so, believe the patterns, not the promises. I mean, that is the big takeaway on that one. But she gives so many great stories for that. So please read all those chapters. Again, the big takeaway, chapter 4, support people, don't carry them. Chapter 5, peace is priority, not a luxury. Oh, this is new information to me. Chapter 6, your worth cannot depend on outside applause. No way. Nope. Chapter 7, say no often. Protects the relationships that matter. Oh, man. Man. So true. That takes me back to Self Matters from Dr. Phil, where you write down your 50 people and you focus on them. You write down your top 50 people and you make sure those are who you're focusing on. Too many times you're pulled in a direction that is not focusing on those 50 people, and it sucks you dry, and you're not able to be there for the 50 people you want to be there for. And so every year I write down those 50 people and I make them a priority. And it's a big joke within the group. I used to say, congratulations. I'd send out a text and say, congratulations, you're tier 1. You made it. You're in the top 50. But then it got like concerning. It was like, oh, did I not make the cut? No, I just haven't sent the text out. So I just stopped doing it. If you're in my top 50. I hope. If not, ask me. I'll tell you. Chapter 8, the big takeaway. Believe patterns, not promises. Okay, you guys, you gotta read the book. Join us on Patreon. Have a great Thursday. Big Memorial Day weekend. Hope you have big plans. We love you guys. Texas, yeehaw.